Anthony from Mount Washington, Kentucky. I live outside Louisville and I go to OVW from time to time. This last Thursday, Paul White, aka Big Show, came out. He announced fans in attendance and watched at home, I'm sorry, I'm reading this badly, would have a QR code to scan for buy one, get one free tickets for the upcoming AEW show on November 1st. This show will be at the Yum Center in Louisville. In fact, we were looking at a video, Jeff Jarrett, and he mentioned you, in a promotional video. I guess my question would be, is this because AEW cannot sell out the Yum Center like WWE always does? Does AEW have to give tickets away to draw a crowd? Are there tapings not drawing? When Raw or SmackDown come here, they always sell out. Again, love the podcast. So I think it's AEW and their issue selling tickets at this point.
Well, you're talking about you're talking about WWE and SmackDown. They always sell out. Raw and SmackDown always sell out. Well, the crowd is always full. The seats are always full. But yet, if they're short on seats, they will what they call paper the town. Mm. And they get actually pretty good seats because it's in WWE's favor and SmackDown's favor to show a full house every time it appears on TV. Now, I have been on some WWE cards and SmackDown cards where it wasn't full, and they papered the town also, papered the area. It means give tickets away, and it still wasn't full. But that's where they just arrange their camera angles, and they shoot across to where in what they call the hard camera section, that's where it's all filled in. You don't see this on TV, especially when they go back and edit it. It looks full. But could AEW sell out the Yum Center? How big is a Yum Center? 20,000?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
It took Freedom Hall's place. I know that.
Well, just while you're saying that, hang on, Yum Center wiki. I mean, it'll be far more, because it's got to be set up for wrestling, hasn't it? So for basketball and volleyball, it says, somewhere around 21,000, 22,000.
Yeah.
End stage, 17,500. So, yeah, it's a big old place.
Yeah. No, they could not. I don't think they could sell out Louisville. I really don't.
But it is a misnomer that people think, well, AEW is struggling to sell tickets at the moment and they're making fun of the buy one, get one free deals and papering this out. But WWE still do this.
They do that. They just don't do it in, well, not a lot of people heard that even when Big Show did it. He just did it to the crowd, didn't he?
Yeah, for OVW, apparently.
Okay, well, more power to them. I'm glad they're out there where they can do this. So it's giving work to all the wrestlers who need it, and the wrestling fans. It gives them another place to go and another thing to excite their interest, because if they're interested in professional wrestling, AEW they don't do a bad job. They do a pretty good job on some of that stuff. I'm not saying it's perfect, but WWE hasn't always been perfect. None of us have been perfect. But I don't think that AEW on their own selling tickets can fill up the Yum Center. No. Yum. You imagine the name Yum.
That's a horrible name.
Horrible. It ain't that good. Yum Center. Hey, where's the Yum Center? I don't know.
I think, are they like the parent company of KFC or something like that?
I think so.
Just because it's bouncing off that and it's mentioning AEW, you've probably seen the photos of some of the half-empty arenas that AEW are running at the moment, which obviously isn't the greatest look, and they do cover it up pretty well on TV, where they only fill in basically two sides and, the ring side all around. But should AEW in the future be running smaller venues, or would that be detrimental to their presentation?
Hey, James, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you one more time. Stop making sense. I mean, I told, we were talking about TNA earlier in our other podcast. We'd go to buildings and like 30% of it will have people. I said, guys, I got an idea. What? Why don't we run smaller building venues to where we can kind of pack it out, because that always looks better on TV than seeing vast swatches of this arena just completely empty. that almost defeats the purpose of what you're trying to produce. So run smaller venues, but they wanted to run the big ones. They wanted to be, at one point, they wanted to run the same buildings as WWE. Well, what that meant was you just lose more money. These buildings are not cheap, because when you start thinking you're gonna book a 15,000 seat arena and advertise that and bring all your people in, and it's very, very expensive. I bet sometimes they have booked some venues, and the venue house, the live gate, may have been enough just to pay the rent, not even to pay the talent. So you're going into a hole. But my suggestion to them would be, until they hit a hot run, but see, and that's difficult to tell too, because they have to book these buildings 6 months or more in advance. Mm-hmm. So you don't know what you're doing in 6 months.
Exactly. You could almost be like running on like false optimism, saying we're going to turn this around in 6 months. So we need to keep on booking these massive arenas, because you never know when we're going to turn the tide. But then also, what if you start booking 2,000 and 3,000 capacity smaller places, and then it looks like a second tier promotion because of it? So I mean, there's sort of that angle as well. You don't want to look like you basically ECW essentially.
Well, you're saying that on TV, if you see 2,000 or 3,000 people in a big building, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if there's 2,000 or 3,000 people packing in a smaller event, let's say they sell it out. I mean, It's still a sellout, and it's cheaper to run. But then you're supposed to be looking like a national, international wrestling powerhouse, and you're running mid-sized venues.
Well, you just don't say anything about it. I mean, only the local people are going to know that anyway. But to a nationwide audience, well, you're selling it out. It's easier to talk about a sellout than, well, we got a good turnout today. But if it's packed out, it's packed out. And the people are more lively. It's more easy to work. The talent feels better. The people feel better. And I think try that for a while. And if your houses come up and it looks like it's going to last a while, and I don't know who makes that decision, I guess the boss, but then you go to bigger buildings. But to take a brand new, and AEW is not brand new, of course, but to take a brand new or a new promotion to a 15 or 16,000 seater, you're not going to fill it up. Because WWE has trouble filling that stuff up, putting every star they got on it. So that's just my suggestion. They can do what they want to do, but that was what I would do.